Hi everyone, my name is Connor Thompson. I'm a PhD student in history and I'm speaking to you from the University of Alberta in Edmonton on Treaty 6 territory and at the north end of what was once River Lot 5. And I'm here today to talk to you about and give you a brief Jane's Walk tour of the ring houses at the University of Alberta. So the ring houses are a set of 4 heritage structures at the north end of the university's campus. And these are structures that house some of the university's most important leaders, presidents, professors, and so on. But they also housed a variety of institutions and organizations that were important not just to the university, but to the broader community. And so they have a tremendous historical value. So just to talk briefly about some of the leaders at the university who lived in these structures over time. Ring House 4, for example, was the home of Professor Adolf Lehmann, who was an early professor of chemistry here and just a very interesting personality, lived in a variety of parts of the world before coming to Edmonton to work at the UofA. Ring House 3 was home at one time to William Carr and his family, who lived here until 1936 when he became the university's president, at which point he moved into Ring House 1, which we'll get to a bit later. And right behind me is Ring House 2. Ring House 2 housed the first professor of engineering at the University of Alberta, Professor Muir Edwards, and later on it was also home to Maury Van Vliet, for whom the Van Vliet Center is named, and a very important figure in physical education. But aside from some of these important figures who lived in these houses, they were also home to a variety of organizations. So maybe one of the most interesting would be Ring House 3, which from 1969 to 2010 was actually a kindergarten. So you can imagine the number of people who passed through that house, not just from the university, but from the broader Edmonton community. The ring houses also hosted art galleries. They served as archives, as museums. The University of Alberta Press at one point was run out of one of these houses. And so there's a broader significance in that sense. Alberta North also had its offices in one of the ring houses. So very important institutions and structures for a variety of reasons. But we'll walk over now to Ring House 1, which is home to one of the University of Alberta's most important leaders, Henry Marshall Torrey and his family. So Torrey was an important figure in terms of setting the course for the University of Alberta and its mission. He was very passionate about work in extension. He saw the university as being an institution that should serve a purpose, not just for the people who work on its campus, but for Alberta as a whole. And so he had this vision of doing extension work, which was an important factor right off the bat for the U of A. He also was a leader in education really across Canada. And so, you know, Torrey's influence is just very, very broad and is a very important figure. But his family was very interesting, and his wife Annie was well known for being passionate about hosting people. She was known for her veranda teas, which she had, I believe, every Friday. And, anyone who came to visit pretty much ended up at Ring House 1. Anyone who came to visit the University of Alberta ended up at Ring House 1. And the family was well known for welcoming students, faculty, and other people into their home here. And as a student, I wanted to recount a very interesting anecdote that involves students and maybe illustrates a little bit the reputation of the Torrey family at the U of A. In October 1923, a rumor began circulating that Henry Marshall Torrey might be leaving the university for elsewhere. And so a large crowd of students gathered here and basically implored Torrey to come out and address this crowd. And when he did, the students broke into singing for "He's a Jolly Good Fellow." They expressed their concerns, so that they wanted him to remain president of the university, and basically just implored him to stay, which he did actually. He would remain the president until 1928. So I think that illustrates something again about the Torrey family and their reputation. But later on, this structure served many other purposes. It housed so many university leaders, and it's actually the oldest surviving president's residence on any university in Canada. So yeah, basically just very significant institutions, but unfortunately, recently there was an announcement made that the ring houses were in danger of being torn down. And actually, the interesting thing is that at one time there were 10 ring houses, but 6 were demolished some time ago. And so these are the 4 remaining structures here. Recently they were added to the National Trust's list of most endangered places, and there's been a widespread community effort, both from within the university, but certainly within the broader community, to save these structures and put a halt on the demolition. An online petition signed by many faculty, many students, many people in the community has gained over 2,500 signatures, and concern is coming from all over the place about what might happen to these buildings. So hopefully that effort is successful and these structures are saved. And if you want more information on that, you can check out the National Trust site. Among other places, there's just talk everywhere about the possibility of their demolition. But for now, I want to thank you for spending some time and joining me on this Jane's Walk and learning a little bit about these very important heritage structures, the ring houses at the University of Alberta. So thanks very much and take care.